to this story. A couple of weeks ago on Shabbat, after we were praying in the synagogue, we had what's called a kiddush, which is basically a meeting of the whole community where refreshments are served. Hundreds of people were there, and all of a sudden my husband Yona pokes me on the side and he says, "Zippy, look, on the tables there's no sweet drinks." I look around, even on the kids' table, there's water and soda. That's it. And I immediately went to the organizers of this event and I really complimented them and told them what a wonderful thing they did, that they did not bow to some kind of agreed thing that has to be at these community events, and they chose not to serve sweet drinks. Because if there's one thing that everybody should be fanatic about when it comes to sugar, it is the sweetened beverages. Now, I, as somebody, as a nurse and as a certified counselor for food and sugar addiction, do not think that everybody needs to abstain all the time, their whole lives, from all kinds of sugar or junk food or ultra-processed foods. There are people who can enjoy these foods in moderation. Maybe there are some people who need to be educated about what moderation is, but really, just the same as alcohol or even cigarettes, some people can enjoy a cigarette here and there at a pub and be done with it, and that's all. There are people who can enjoy a piece of cake and Doritos and whatever it is and eat it in moderation and be done. There are some people who get addicted to these foods, and then whether to abstain or not is a whole other conversation, which is not a part of this video. But there is one thing that everyone should be fanatic about, and that is not consuming sweetened beverages. I include in that list 100% natural squeezed fruit juices, because the sugar that is in these sweetened beverages has a high concentration of a sugar called fructose. My team and I make a huge effort to consistently put out high quality videos to help you on your way to health. If you're getting value from these, you can help us reach more people by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. Thank you. In nature, until about 70 years ago, fructose was rare. It was only in fruit and that honey in a tree that people would find once in a while. So our body doesn't know how to metabolize this sugar called fructose very efficiently. And then what happens is it causes, when we eat more than just a little bit of this, and especially if we get it in a large amount in a very short amount of time also, like in what's called a bolus all at once, our body doesn't really know how to handle it. And it can cause a whole host of problems, from fatty liver to high blood lipids called triglycerides, which can cause high blood pressure and can block your arteries and cause heart disease. It also can cause inflammation in the body. People who are insulin resistant, this fructose can make their insulin resistance even worse, which means that it can give people a predisposition to diabetes. Really, this fructose, in more than just a little bit, is a very toxic chemical. Now, here's the thing. When you drink a sweetened beverage, even if it's 100% squeezed fruit juice, you are getting a huge amount of fructose in a very short amount of time. Because when you eat a fruit, there's fiber in the fruit, and you eat one fruit, maybe two. So the fructose that is in that fruit is in a relatively small amount, and there's fiber to slow the absorption. But if you take squeezed orange juice or any other sweetened beverages, you're getting a huge amount of, it's like the way to get the biggest amount of fructose in the smallest amount of time, because you're drinking it. So you're not even taking those couple of seconds to chew it and swallow it. You're just drinking it. So it really is, this is really toxic. I tell my kids, if you see a bottle of Coca-Cola on the table, you may as well be looking at a box of Marlboro cigarettes or whatever it is, any cigarettes, because it's just as toxic, it's just as addicting, and it's just as harmful to your body. Now think about that. We're serving these sweetened beverages at restaurants and at all these community events to little children who their liver is even more sensitive and cannot really undergo that bombardment of fructose without bringing to them maybe even long-term harm. So why don't you guys take an example from my community? Let's break that public idea that in order to celebrate, in order to have a nice and enjoyable community event, be it in your community, your church, your synagogue, your kids' school, or maybe whatever the parties that you have, let's break that idea that in order for it to be enjoyable, we have to serve sweetened beverages. Everybody will do fine with water and soda. Believe me, I heard no kids crying because there's no sweetened drinks. I didn't even hear any grumblings. I personally didn't even notice that was what was there until my husband showed me and told me to pay attention. Look at what's on the table. The truth is that I don't look at the tables because I usually don't take any refreshments there because I'm a sugar addict. But what I'm saying is, let's take an example from my community. Let's, at these community events, when groups are getting together, let's make it the norm to serve water and soda, no sweetened beverages, regardless of what else is being served. So if you think you can do that, why don't you tell us in the comments below where you think you could take up that challenge of initiating the idea that no sweetened beverages will be served at a community or group event. And I will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.